아니 남바 참마라 아니 도마를 참저그 다시 데라 쉬고요스.
Firstly, a very warm welcome and tashi dele to everyone.
아니 데링 아주 롱좀 년천제 토더 아니 냠더 남바 초당 갑다 쉬고요스.
And today we're going to have a conversation on behalf of Rongzom Buddhist channel to present to you a series of questions.
옛날에 대랑 같이 현근데 나 말이스 나기 남바 초 잡지니 저와저요스.
However, today I'm not the person who is giving or doing the interview. I am just on behalf of everybody presenting the interview, and we have a guest with us.
아니 저와대양 나초가 남진 초와가 나라 유비 지 강하다 지 남진 지 뭐망보시 그 저와 셈낭라 유비 저와 된지 저거요스.
And today's questions are very relevant in our daily lives, and possibly every one of us would have in our lives that we will encounter.
아니 남바초기 아니 두나약 보나니 사야가 리와요스.
So I hope listeners and viewers, you will pay attention to today's interview as well as the questions, because it will benefit.
된다인디 다 통머릉이 나초 저와 휴사 대랑 롱좀 년전 그 근준 대 모트 뇨뇨지 쇼인스.
And first of all, I'm going to give a short, brief introduction of our guest today.
공다오예나다 공군 총사대 본낭레스 나초 직바레스.
Our guest today is from Tibet, same country where I came from.
다이나요 공고 롭종 앙사 망치바데 더니 자거 롭족라 나요레스.
And where he has done his studies is in India.
대양 자거 롭족 간저리 닝마가 샤다 치주 남들랑라 망치와 롭종 나레스.
He mainly studied in a very famous monastery called Namdroling.
대신도 로 길룩비다가 단사 침보되니 디봉이야 달로 쩔라라 롭종 나레스. 디봉.
And he also studied in the Gelug tradition in Depong Monastery.
대신도 다 받은 사기 다 히야다 치유 더니 정설 히야다라 롭종 나레스.
And as well as the very famous college in India called Dzongsa College and Monastery.
니 정설 히야다라 공고 롭종 나위 값은 아니가 냠들이 아니가 디값다 주로양 믹서 그레스.
And in Dzongsa Monastery, we were friends as well as we were friends and Dharma brothers.
대낭인지 콩이나 노당 ngak당 지당그 다지 리니 여러바데 라소바 원시당 데 리니 참말라 냠들 로정지 여레스.
And we studied the sutras, the tantras, and the literatures together.
된다 현장 콩이나 지당게 다다 람점바 다 된디 무수톤 선바된다레스.
And our guest today has the title of a Rabjampa, which in today's language is equivalent to scholar or professor.
된다인디 디지스다 콩다웨나 한추다웨나 되니 인지 이게 전에 지금 말했어.
So when I first knew him and met him, he doesn't speak English at all.
다이나 니스통 쭈죽한 고송니 지장을 한 고쪽니 다다 인지 땅니 말아 송추 추송탑이야 된디 차다 레비어레스.
And he started studying and learning English language in 2016. And currently, our guest is able to give Dharma teachings in English fluently.
대야 다 잡지 정설 진지가 되니 진지 팁자라서 바가다 디가 리에스다 된지 리비토니 리에스잖아 다 타면의项目 리에스다 다 진지 팁자 균니도 나디 로종 방부 고르급된디 탑네 되니 ment니 거랑 다다 로종 나신 바리스 인지가라.
And he is continuously putting in effort to study English language as well as the literatures.
다다 진지 펀데이션 진지 팁자가 약조나니
under the support
당보니
with the support of Dzongsa Foundation. So this is the brief introduction of our guest today. So if I've missed out anything on the introduction for our guest today, I will top it up, add it on later on. And from 2022, our guest has also taught in Rinchen Pelri Monastery and Anzum Gomba, which is Anzum Monastery in Nepal.
Dhe Konchok Sangpo
So a very warm welcome and Tashi Dele to our guest, Rabjampa Dhe Konchok Sangpo.
Tangi trawa tangbo de karayan lamna teni ta tingsang ka kapsu mamambu si de semba market big angar chimbo yores.
So the first question is related to our current times. A lot of people have a lot of mental problems and emotional problems.
Ani par tasala sowa tolayan kangar yon kanyang pe mambu res tingsang.
And then also a lot of people externally has a lot of problems. They have a lot of problems to overcome.
Yang par tasa te za kangar chimbo mena yang sem ge min tong ge men tong na yang de sem ge tang la pe kangar chimbo yo ni teni ma bo yores.
And there are also a lot of people who are very challenged emotionally on the mental level.
Tenda ni nga zu par da pe ko chubon du zigbon teni samba tenda yana yang tong ge tong ni kangar che chang ni ko rang hi jang ko yang ka chi gu gu yong ko yores.
And even though on the external outlook, a lot of people might seem to be wealthy and might not have any worries, might seem to be that way, but actually they might have a lot of thoughts that's quite suicidal.
Tenda 연장이 들어와서 가르치니 파르타사 텐디 강을 매줘 있나요? 저당가 뭐다 정말로 텐디 그 강을 지 여기 요레스. teni di kangar de la tik seria ga tapshin ro ka de yoris.
And so my first question is, why is today so many people experiencing unhappiness, and how can we be happy and practice happiness?
Lesson.
Okay, thank you so much for giving this opportunity to me. And first, I apologize to everyone when I make mistake in English, because I'm still learning English. So I think actually there could be many reasons to be unhappy. I mean, everybody maybe has different reasons to be unhappy. But I think the root of unhappiness is thinking too much about the future with hope and fear, and they regret something they did in the past. Actually, there are three terms: past, future, and present. We can use only one of them, which is present, but we cannot realize the present. I mean, we cannot realize what we are doing, what we are thinking, what are feeling. So, the past is past. It never comes back. And future is future. It hasn't come yet. But we think about too much the future and the past. That's why, thinking too much with fear and hope, makes us unhappy. It makes us suffering. So That's why I think this is a big problem. The another problem, we cannot realize the value of our life. Even we have, a great life. Many people also think if I will be a rich or famous, I must be very happy, but it's not true. It's not reasonable. For example, Elon Musk is the richest person in the world. He's very, very famous in the world. But when he was, interviewed by reports, he said, I feel lonely. He is not happy. This means, that he's very rich and very famous, but he is still not happy. If, the money and the fame makes, us happy, then he must be happy. And, the peace. So, in my opinion, whether we are happy or not depends on our thought. I'm not just talking about it. I mean, in my experience, before 2010, I used to be unhappy, and sometimes I feel lonely. Even I was with my friends, also classmates. But then I try to get the cause of, the sadness or unhappiness. Then finally I found the cause of sadness was fear and hope. Also, maybe I think I was thinking about my future with hope and fear. That's the problem. After I, realized the cause of my sadness, then I practiced about Buddhist philosophy, not just from textbook, from, with my, the thinking, my thought. It helped me a lot. Because, for example, like Nakanjuna said, Karti choose yonan telamarga chachi, Karti choose menan telamarga chi chipen. It means, if we translate it in English, if you can do something to solve a problem, then there is no need to worry about it. But if you cannot do anything to solve a problem, it doesn't help to worry about it either. So it helps me a lot to be happy and to keep my happiness and peace. This is very reasonable. And also if we think positive about something, it changes our life. I mean, when a few years ago, I went to Kolkata. That time I was learning English with some of my friends. And one evening we went to outside for just tea. And there was a celebration of India. And it was too much noise. So it was very difficult for us. Even we were very close, we couldn't hear each other when we talk something. Then we went to the tea center through the noise party, and we were very difficult then. But everybody who was around the tea center was very happy. They were very enjoying the party. They were singing song, they playing drama, and they were dancing. Then I asked myself, why everybody is happy, enjoy the party except us? Then I knew that, they were thinking positive about the party, because the party is very, the special tradition of them. But it wasn't our tradition. That's why we were thinking negative I mean, it makes us too much noise. We were thinking like that. Then I try to think positive about the party. I mean, I listened to the sound of, the sound of the song and the music, and it was very beautiful and unbelievable. And then I watched the people who were dancing and who were, having, tea, the selling tea. Everybody was wonderful. And there was a tree, next to the tea center. Then I watched the tree. It was, the full, green with leaves. The leaves were moving in wind. So, I feel very peaceful, very happy. Even they were still, they making too much noise. It changed my feeling into peace and happy in a few seconds, because I changed my thought into, the thinking positive. So I mean, it reason, whether we are happy or not, it depends on our thought. Some people cannot believe, that whether we are happy or not depends on our thought, but it's true. Also, I would like to share another story. There were two men who had the same situation and same age and were staying in the same place. And one of them was always happy because he was thinking about anything. He was thinking positive about anything and everyone. The other one, was unhappy because he was thinking negative about anything. Actually, they're same situation, but different feeling due to their thoughts. Yeah, this is my opinion. So we should think positive about anything, be open-minded, and be kind to everyone, include animals and enemies. And then I think we can make ourselves forever, whenever. I mean, if we be open-minded and think positive, then our mind will be like sky. Nobody can destroy the sky. And nothing can change the sky. Even they explore nuclear in the sky, they cannot destroy the sky. Similarly, if we be open-minded, think positive, nobody can destroy our peace, happiness. So that's why I think we should practice about that. This is my opinion or my experience.
Laso, tani ta trwa tangbo la lan yachimbo tingsapo nangsong gadanches.
Thank you very much for your profound teachings for question 1.
Di nang ni bian na ta yang nga zo ji sem ge gangal de se ya ge tapsi de zu gor la yang nang chu bu chao ni yang song song.
So there are also various methods for overcoming our emotional problems, mental difficulties in terms of Buddhism.
Ta de yin yang go yo res bian na ta kamar nang ken de ya nang chu lob jong tang nyam len nang ken chi gre nga chu chwa tang ken yang nang ba chi gre nga chu ge rong zum nyen ten tang ken yang mang chi wa nang ba re di res.
And today our viewers are mostly perhaps Buddhist, and then people who have asked these questions, and the questions that's being gathered are mainly from Buddhists. And so our guest today is also very well versed in Buddhist teachings and philosophy. So coming from the perspective of Buddhism and Buddhist teaching,
Tene ni ogla ngi trawa nang la nga chowa nang chu ta nang chu tin pecho tang ni di kangar se ya ko la yang cher trawa ting ni si zhe yin si.
So following question 1, the following questions will be related to Buddhism as well as the teachings of Buddha.
Ta te trawa la to mar nang chu se wa de kariri se wa de te za si yang chu hi go yo ras.
So to go further, the next question would be to understand or, to know about what is Buddhism.
Ta nang chu se wa de zedang ge hian na lo so si de si.
And the teachings of Buddha is like a philosophy.
Lo so education.
It's like an education.
Te nangba yinna mana chamala pantok yore si tingsang.
And whether one is a Buddhist or not, it will benefit.
Ya nangshu si de pe tenji ge ji hirab ja chimbo si res.
And the teachings of Buddha is actually very vast and profound.
Je zang ko rang dang bo nangshu si wa de ngo de za xing mo sang go yo ba de ka chimbo yin zang nga zo la nangshu si wa de kan da ji le mo sang go.
And I think that's why it's important to know what actually is Nangchu, which is Buddhism or Buddha's teaching. So please give us a brief teaching on this. Thank you.
In fact, Buddhism or Buddhist philosophy is vast and profound. So it's difficult to explain in short term, but if I try to explain about it in a short term, then I think the Buddhism means in Tibetan is Nangchu. Nang means inner or within. Chu means maybe I think we can call it religion, but Chu means the Jew, correct. The correct negative thought. This is, I think, Buddhism. And also Buddha says, Dikpa Chiyang Mashajin, Gewa Pensum Chokberchit, Rank Sim no Yongsun Dul, Dunasangi Temba Yin. It means, if we translate it in English, is commit not a single misdeed. It means you shouldn't think positive about others, and you shouldn't, harm others. It means it's very reasonable. Also Buddha says, Rank lula pelonla, jenla nopa machichi. It means, how difficult it is when someone hurts you. Remember that you don't hurt others. Also, if we change it a little bit, then how difficult it is when someone kills you. Remember that don't kill others. How difficult it is when someone criticizes, complains you. Remember that you don't, criticize or complain others. So also it helps me, to be kind or understand. So I think this is reasonable. So the first one, Dikpa Chiyang Mashajin means, the commit not a misdeed. And the second one is Giwa Pensum Chokberchit, means practice the virtue perfectly. Practice the virtue perfectly means, no need to doing something special, like speak with kindness, and like sympathize or empathize with someone who is in a bad situation, and to be happy for others who are successful. And so these things like also feel compassion for others. So I think this is the best, the practicing of Buddhism or Buddhist philosophy. And then third one, it means commit, tame your mind or control your mind. Means if we think, the positive and also the practice meditation, practice Buddhist philosophy, it helps to reduce your negative thoughts, strong emotions. So that's why I think these three things are very important, the meaning of Buddhism. Then they said, this is the teaching of Golden Buddha. It means this is the meaning of Buddhism. Means this is the teaching of Golden Buddha, or this is the meaning of Buddhism. So I think, Buddhism means like that. If we, they explain it in short time.
Also, teni da shes teni nomba sangji be chu sera de tendi ke chi rank sim dolya talon ji yamba de dan ngui ni seres.
And indeed, Buddhist teachings is one of the ways to tame our mind and also to benefit us on, having a quality golden mind.
Bena ni ang tendi ji dengen bena hiwa la junju ke nang la.
So I'm going to share something too. It's from the teachings of Shantideva.
Meji teni sacha tharambo drogo na teni sacha de chama cherma teni chakchang teni damda kambala sukto teni yona teni sacha chama de teni kapya kona kapto maris.
So it's like someone traveling by foot on uneven sand.
Cherma months.
Uneven thorns.
The cherma chama mebazo gona mebazo takumaris.
And to remove all the thorns along the path is impossible. But as long as But if you wear a proper footwear that can protect you from the thorns on the path, then it doesn't matter. So it's equivalent to our mind. If we can have a good, positive mind, then whatever happens around us in our environment, in our mind, it cannot affect us. However, it is easy to say but difficult to practice. And usually there are two types of people. And so the one type of people would be someone who desires liberation or nirvana, and therefore they reject or detest, dislike samsara.
So in
and then they will abandon all their feelings, all their emotions, everything in life.
Yang kashi sena otangin simba jibo yongna ngala de pantona ni naba de jek yense ando mato ewa jima dang jek denila sanglo choni ta muntan me jen kan yores.
And there is another type who doesn't believe in past and future, reincarnation, and as long as Buddhism or Buddhist teaching can benefit them in the short term, then they will accept.
다이나 무유니 처를 때 가래리스 나가서 댕성기 쩌고 나서 밑에 저라 무유니 처를 소소건 쩌고 소화가 나라 판독 메나 다자신 보시나 kilesi kat pe nyong nyong res.
And in current times, especially in the Buddhist centers, if say whatever that's being taught cannot be applied into the people's lives, and it cannot benefit them, with some sort of results, then very few people would actually visit the center.
这张我做个这个南州的所说个错啊，但人类跟错啊个难了，你比较当然了，判断有吧，应该有吧，地球你带这些上去。
Therefore, it is quite important to have practicality in the practice of Buddhism or Buddhist teaching. And therefore, the third question would be, how can we integrate the Buddhist teachings in our lives?
别人的宗教呀，经常重要，那个介绍，说吧。
Especially coming from, business or family or work.
I think the good health is the most important in our life, and then happiness and wisdom and also wealth. So if we practice about Buddhist philosophy or Buddhism, then it brings us, the health. I mean inner health, and also wisdom, and also happiness or peace. So actually I think there are two, the health, external health and internal health. Everybody knows, about external health, but external health means when we practice Buddhist philosophy, it teaches how to get internal health. Also peace, there are two kinds of peace. The internal peace, the external peace. Internal peace means, we get peace which, from inside. So then also happiness. Everybody is trying to get happiness from outside. Listen to music, watch movie, drinking like something. Of course, they get happiness from them. It's very important because we are human beings. But also, we should try to get, internal happiness, internal peace, internal wealth, also wisdom. So also wisdom is very important. If we get internal wisdom, then even we don't have freedom. If we have internal freedom, then even we don't have, external freedom, we feel very, very happy. Also now, I think many people have problem is they feel lonely, even they are, with family or friends. Like for example, Elon Musk, he says, that he feels lonely. He has, the lots of followers, but he still feel lonely. Because they don't have something. They don't have enough something. So I mean, if we practice with the philosophy, it means how to be kind to other, how to help others with wisdom or compassion or kindness. So if we help others, it helps us. When we, if we are a businessman, for example, imagine if we help others, and the customers help us. Also when we make others happy, then they will us happy. So, and also, I think in my experience, and my the opinion is, the most important is about analyze the present and at the moment. If we analyze at the moment, then we can do anything. We don't make mistake. This is also the lecture of Buddhist philosophy. So also everybody tries to practice meditation, but they don't know how to practice meditation, or most of them. Then meditation means just concentrate your mind on something, whatever you're doing, whatever you're thinking, whatever you're hearing, continually, peacefully, and deeply, and normally. That is, I think, practice meditation. Don't need just stay and simple as keep sitting straight and close eyes when you practice meditation. So yeah, like that. That's why I think with the philosophy very benefits in our daily life. Also, if we they be kind to others and sympathize, empathize with others, then we can keep our relationship. It means we understand others' feeling. It's very important to keep our relationship. If we don't understand each other, then even we have love or compassion, we cannot keep our relationship, then longer. So that's why I think practice meditation or practice Buddhist philosophy is very important. Actually, there are lots of techniques or methods in Buddhist philosophy, but we cannot tell all of them in short time.
So then ta kong la nang chu de me so na nyamle jetang korte ya sens.
Thank you for giving us a very good approach towards the practicing and integration of the wisdom of Buddha's teachings.
Chapter the gom the meditations in gom la de ni so simple ganger certain korte sens.
And with the practice of meditation, it can really help to relieve our the burden in our mind.
la ta den shi wa zhamba dang ne xi xin da tam jin ba le zhong xi ki dang de de ta mu jiu shi da da ka re shi na ja xi xi wa la ge gu qi zhamba dang xi jin ni ga de yin jing me ji ge ya bo ji da bo jiao rou qi shi ne ngi jiang zu la gu ji la gu yo song yo re shi ja xi xi wa la ge zhong ju ge nang la wa kwang ge da yi gi ge de ma ma da 잠바당 희진이가 라 다보야 보자로 치세니 니자랑서라 끝이라 당무자르요 성혈했어.
So in Bodhicharya Avatara, Shiva Shantideva said, please, I request or beseech you to practice mindfulness.
잠바당 희진 정치적인 된다 옛날에니 대 가리르시나 수수수수 가리제기 요바 가리 임바 셈데 가리 임바 참마데 하고다 바였는데 군이 곰야 휴대 착요사레스.
Because when you understand your mind with mindfulness, it becomes the best meditation. There will be quality in your meditation.
된다 연장 다디 샤라 공부 강성화돼 가서야 고직 생활이야 레와요스.
And therefore we hope that whatever our guest today, Rabjampa Dhe Konchok Sangpo, has taught, we can keep in our heart and practice.
다동알아 저와 연바직때 따리 니르급군 소위나가 강을 대양 셀고 요리데 양 데일리 파르지 갈니야 체체마레 문이그 코로아가 두므 창마세리아가 제대양 와서 삼로당고 요리스 낭바이나.
So as Buddhist, it is also important for us to think about how do we remove the difficulties, whether it's this life or next.
강르시나 깨와 치마라 켜니 삼로 마땅 칸그 추진 근지 옛날 그 나방 니데 차가요 말이지.
So if a Buddhist who doesn't believe in past, in present, in future lives, then you cannot really practice and become a good Buddhist.
제장이 다다가 들어와대 공다던 라운다오리 때 옛날양 다다가 소금 미친데 라양 판토라양 지디와 지마양 판통 디상로데 찬념라오지 핑한 찬념라오지 영야라양 지 간디직 상로 당거리스 대적이었어.
And therefore the next question is, how can we practice balance, from the approach of the past life, the present and the future lives? How can we have a balance in perspectives as we, practice the Buddha's teachings?
Okay. I think first we should know how Buddhist philosophy, they helps us in this life and next life. So, I mean, we should know the quality of Buddhist philosophy. So first, we should think like Golden Buddha is for example, we are like patients, and our suffering is like disease, and Golden Buddha is like great doctor, and his teaching of Buddhist philosophy is like medicine. So first, if we want to recover or remove our disease, then we have to take, the tablet or medicine. So if we want to remove or reduce our negative thoughts or strong emotions, then we have to practice about the Buddhist philosophy. Because the Buddhist philosophy teaches us how to reduce the suffering or strong emotions, negative thoughts. That's why. And then, the Golden Buddha is like great doctor because he has, a great experience how to teach us to reduce our sufferings. That's why, we should practice about, the Buddhist philosophy. I'm not telling, the quality of Buddhist philosophy as I'm a Buddhist man, Buddhist person. So also like Buddha, they says, Gelon tatang kingdom ki sasit darvi sergeant, lakbar taba ngayika, lawar say kusher min. It means, monks and scholars, just as gold is tested by being burnt, cut, and wrapped. You should accept the words of my teaching only after examining them carefully and perfectly. Not just simply out of faith or respect. So it's very also, reasonable and logical. So if someone believes about next life, then our next life will be great or not. It depends on this life. If we help others, think positive about others, then our next life will be great. Because also, Dharma Kirti says, Masa Megi Telan Ju Kanki Dopringer. Actually Dharma Kirti, was born in South India in 5th century, so many years ago. I think also this is very reasonable. Masa Megi Telanju Kanki Dopringer means, if nothing lacking cause and condition, nothing can make cessation to arrest the result. It's very also useful because nowadays, science is developing. That's why some people think religion or Buddhist religion, is not reasonable. It's not true. But if Master may tell them you can get the means, the if we, if there is like there's nothing lacking the cause and condition, nothing can make, nothing can make condition to arrest the result. It means everything is possible, Also, like I would like to say a little bit about it. Is I think it's important in this day. So also Nakamjuna, he was maybe I think about 2000 years ago, but he said everything is possible, which is interdependence. This is very important because now also the science is improving. Then that's why many people don't believe the past and the future life. They said there is not reasonable, but everything is possible, which is interdependence. He said 2000 years ago. Now I think as science is developing, as Buddhist philosophy will be clearer and clearer due to those teachings. So I mean, if we help each other and think positive, be kind, and then our next love will be great. Also, this love also will be great. This is my opinion.
Lasso. That ending nga chu nang chu di teni ta song nagar jena ga long tang ni kan la tong ba ni ro dar na tap chu tong ba ni yem jim chen ji ni tin zhe da no ma de interdependent ke chang ma de yong grace song wa.
So in terms of the Nagarjuna's teachings, and etc., there are many examples of the interdependence of interdependence of emptiness and wisdom.
Teni tati dodo de karerese na nga chu ge tinrir ke yimbi jimchen ji ani nirkap tang taptuk zen da changma la de chu de ge mchen de la pan to yo ba la jewa chi ma la pan to yo ba ani de da wi so ge gyurjin de cho so na dribu kare na yong si ba den di ji ge to ni so yo sa res.
Because of the interdependence as well as emptiness, as taught by Nagarjuna, with the right conditions, the understanding of cause and effect, there are many possibilities and results that can be accomplished, whether it's from the past life or talking about the future lives.
Anita tin jugla tingi tatwate kareyens na tape na nga choga nang chu de yapures and so ala pechi yores de tamala yores.
So lastly, is everybody would agree that there are benefits to practice the Buddha's teaching.
Ta yena ya te yakbo yore de yakbo yoba de nga choga tangbo lobjong 맞지 na yakbo yoba de changma lamsang pechu tangtap bi ngiba yo mares.
And to know the benefits is to study. Without studying, then it's very difficult to experience the benefit.
Tenra yena perna chomma sabji dawshi de chongkwang ni yakbo nyona yang so so de zotang de ta machine ani de sabji de yang kala de droya yakbo yong mares.
So it's like the example of buying vegetables in the market. To know how to prepare the ingredients after buying from the market, knowing the right way of cooking, then can we benefit and enjoy a proper meal.
Ta tela korang la yang ji koram yo pa ga thone chiki jila chik tangbo de chi teni de chi se ni ko laglen ke nortang ya ko chi yo ke thone laglen che go yo saris.
And therefore, that also comes with experience and practice.
点着也呢，点这一个拉个人接了，那俺让做了，就让给点这个用上不说中南为这种个处理，俺从当地现在就让南京那么忙不咱们的就找不到就迎接人家的长马拉等的。这个这个有的是，但是有这个俺错，但得处理的了，别就当了也许个引起讲给等这个对你去俺做了，我真拿了去。
And because of from the experience of encountering many people from different countries, be it Chinese, Asians, Westerners, so please recommend us 2 books that you think will benefit people.
That's
okay. Actually, of course, there are great books in Buddhist philosophy, but in my opinion, or my favorite, the 2 books is Patrul Mondo and also Madhyamaka. Also, it's special, like Nagarjuna's Madhyamaka is called, the fundamental wisdom of middle way. So, like it's called in Tibetan Tashi. So, those books are very, helpful for our life. I mean, also like I think spiritual wisdom and compassion are, heart of Buddhism or Buddhist philosophy. So, Patrul Mondo explains more about compassion and the quality of our life. And then Nagarjuna's book, like the fundamental wisdom of middle way, explains more about spiritual wisdom. So also the power to help others or ability. So in Buddhist philosophy, there are 3 things which are very important. We can say Kente Nusun, Kemba and Sewa Nupa. Kemba means like spiritual wisdom. Sewa means like compassion. And Nupa means ability or power. If we want to help others or make happy others or ourselves, we need these 3 things. If we want to help others, first we need compassion. Otherwise, we don't like to help others. We thought compassion. That's why compassion is very important. And second, wisdom. Even we want to help others, but we have to know how to can help them. How do we reduce suffering? How do we, fix, also correct the negative thoughts? That's why spiritual wisdom is very important. And then ability or power. Even we know how to help them, how to make happy ourselves, and also we want to help others. But if we don't have power or ability, how can we help others? That's why the Nagarjuna's book, the fundamental wisdom of middle way on the Patrul Mondo explain about them very well. So I think also this day many people feel lonely and they don't like themselves because they think negative about their life. Usually I think, and Asians don't think like that, but Western, the people almost think like that. I have, been meeting them, almost of them said they don't like themselves because they cannot realize the quality of their life. For example, I would like to share, the story with you in short term. Okay, a few months ago, I think this is a little bit important. That's why a few months ago I watched about the prisoners, they're from YouTube, and there is a person, the prison which is called, the Indiana State Prison in the United States. and some of them, were on death row. And some of them, received, the punishment to spend whole their life in the prison. Whatever, when they were interviewed by report, almost of them said, we didn't realize when they were outside of the prison, that our life was great. Now we realize our life was great because they had freedom. They could do anything when they were outside, but they weren't happy. They couldn't realize. But now they realize, but it was too late. So if we think, imagine, sometimes also I think, imagine I, will die. I will be die in 3 days. Also I will, they killed by someone in prison, something like that. Then, I realized more about the quality of my life. So for example, now we are very, very happy, actually, really. We can do anything. We can go anywhere. We can spend time with our friends. We can go outside, inside. We can sleep. We can do anything. But we cannot happy. Why? We cannot realize the quality of our life. Because we just compare to others who are higher than us. That's why we cannot see the value of our life. Actually, we should compare to others who lower than us. Then it helps us to realize our life, like the prisoners, So that's why I think these 2 books, which is the Fundamental Wisdom of Middle Way, which was written by Nakanjuna and Patrick Ngondo, are very, very important. And this life, also next life, if they believe in the next life.
So, then Hacheg tip Nimoto Nade Narangasam Hajam Kalshimbore something those.
And the 2 books that you have recommended to us personally, I think they are also very important.
Ting Aranguni Yasankin number Tamaga similar Jani Yabochi Tiptinicala Lojonaro Serva Jakios.
And I also hope that people will spend time to study these 2 books.
Perna Gumbo Ludruk Lomachi Ores, Mingla Ariande Wala Piores.
And there was a disciple of Nagarjuna named Aryadeva.
Konki Yang Madimaka Omaga Yongsiores.
And he also had a teaching around the middle way, Madhyamaka.
Tinang Layang Tawade approaching Mebayana, Ani Gomba, Jotba, the Yamlenka, Yongayo Marison Yoris.
He said that it is only with the right view that one can accomplish results. Without the right view, one cannot attain results.
And
having the view is regarded as important in the studying of Buddhist teachings. And to have the right view, it is important to study the fundamental wisdom of the middle way. And as recommended by our guest today, the fundamental wisdom of middle way, this book is worth studying.
The root shirps and wisdom.
Even though my English is quite poor, but I understand these two words, fundamental and wisdom.
这种실업 장막에 짜와대디 용대 자대요.
And therefore, the root of wisdom.
되니까 냠래 yap고 rindi서 냠래 yap고지 신하양스. 그냥 락렌지 거고요. 나더니 야 바르름버치 다다.
And therefore,
사람이 샤롬이나 야 이거 바로왔다.
and therefore, having wisdom, if without the right methods, then it becomes very difficult to integrate and practice. And therefore, the words of my perfect teacher by Patrul Rinpoche, as suggested by our guest today, is another book that is a must read. And therefore, with these two books, then it becomes a very beautiful union of having right view and meditation. And so I hope our listeners and viewers will be able to keep this in your heart. And so lastly, for our guest today, do you have any final words or thoughts that you would like to share with us? If not, this interview will be regarded as completed.
Okay, thank you so much. So I don't have any special, I don't have any telling too special, but maybe if you can, you should, there or teach or explain more about the Buddhist philosophy to others through your channel, because nowadays many people, of course, want to be happy themselves, but almost of them don't know how to make them, happy, So actually, also like, for example, like Buddha says, the Rani Rangtung going the Jan seeing one teacher means like you are your master. Nobody is your master. So also it's true also, if we know how to think exactly, if we know exactly how to think, then you are on your own master. Nobody is your master. And everywhere is your pure land. Nowhere is your pure land. And if you don't know exactly how to think, then everybody, you are on your own enemy. Nobody is your enemy. Everywhere, there is your hell. Nowhere there is no special hell. So, that's why I think if we explain about that, the Buddhist philosophy to others, I'm not telling just Buddhist philosophy, as I'm Buddhist, I'm telling the truth. So if we, explain more and more about Buddhist philosophy to others, then I hope we can help others with compassion, wisdom, and ability or power, with which are the methods of Buddhist philosophy. Yeah, that's why. Thank you so much.
And lastly, I will share a few thoughts.
Rabjampa Dhe Konchok Sangpo na teni nga choke ta nangchu gu japchong te pe mas pata shizete chantombori is. Ngarang hakuguyos.
I personally know that Rabjampa Dhe Konchok Sangpo has a very rich background, and he's very knowledgeable in the Buddhist teachings and philosophy.
Zidang ge dingsang boku gomba de zu nang la Khenpo Ton sewa de jing dang deshi ton sen nang tombo jiga zega yores.
And so in Tibet, Khenpo, the title of Khenpo is highly regarded.
Deshi yang tenda re.
And as well as Geshe.
다 옛날에 대초 통야라 곰바직나니 로주 뉴슈치 샤슈지 잠리까지 찾긴 방법이 여러 있어.
And to actually have the title of Khenpo or Geshe, it takes decades, 10, 20 years of studying or, working in the monastery.
Yeah. 옛날에 대 람룩다고 찍다 지금 로땅다고 찍다 시스템다고 찍듯이 잠참.
It is actually one of the pathways.
다 옛날에 시츠 장바군이 상로 당하나 콩그 시츠데 거랑 캠보기 시츠데 자세히 열었을 겁니다.
And however, definitely our guest today, Rabjampa, he is definitely also a Khenpo or Geshe.
가르에서 나 콩kum바 찍장비는 걸 로정지요 말이. 되니 히다 약슈나라 소소랑 완전히 니 용자 전부 참마 장이 된디 지요래 이나 콩라나 운이샤나 로정지니 로뉴시 선더비어레스 양주 장바가.
And even though our guest today didn't go through the so-called systematic way of becoming a Khenpo or Geshe, but his experience and his decades of years of commitment and devotion has already earned him these titles or even beyond these titles.
디 강라다 딘 통통나라 인지 약부장니 따다다 인지 당니 추송 타비야 때다 착겨레스.
And on top of that, what is really valuable is his ability to teach and to speak the Dharma in English.
니 저당 당상 보바가 나라야 인지 때자 신근다 마보요레스 옛날 낭추 신근 그 저당 그 뇨뇨 양 낭추 로종야 보였나 인지 신근 뇨뇨 때다 차요레스.
And in our current times, even though there are many Tibetans in the Tibetan community who understands English, but however, they do not have a rich understanding of the Buddhist teachings. And also people who are on the other side, very well educated, trained in the Buddhist teachings and philosophy, however, are unable to teach in English.
근데 인디 콩다고였나 된지가 나추 찬도보장 다다양 인지야 약부차 다동양 공기야면 특이양 인지 효과 효양 잡지 말이지.
And therefore, for our guest today, Rabjampa, he not only has a rich education in terms of the Buddhist teachings and philosophy, on top of that, being able to still study and teach in English.
아니 니데랑 된지 디쳤다는 것도 제가 염천대 나라서 롱섬 년튼이 난다. 저 당기 되게 인지가 당에 나추로 정책의 참마가 마오바이나 콩라 된지 돌나나야 제도인스.
And so therefore, the intention of荣松 Buddhist channel to interview our guest today is also for all our viewers and listeners to also pay attention to this teacher, Rabjampa Dhe Konchok Sangpo. He has a lot to offer. Because sometimes when there is something precious and we do not acknowledge or treasure, then this beautiful gem becomes lost or buried. And also thank you all for paying attention and giving your attention.
And
thank you very much to our special guest, Rabjampa Dhe Konchok Sangpo, for your time to have this interview.
Oh yeah,
thank you very
much. Thank you so much again for giving this opportunity for me. Thank you.
That's all.